$22,500 per year. That's what your $1.5 million portfolio costs in advisory fees if your financial advisor charges the standard 1.5% annually on assets under management. Let me break down exactly what that means over time. Multiply $22,500 by 30 years and you're looking at $675,000 in pure fee drag, money that could have compounded into your retirement instead. But here's where it gets worse. That $675,000 isn't just gone. It's not being invested. It's not earning returns. It's literally money extracted from your wealth-building engine every single year. Consider this real-world scenario. A 45-year-old executive with a $1.5 million portfolio starts paying 1.5% annually to their advisor. By age 75, assuming a conservative 6% annual market return, that portfolio could have grown to approximately $5.7 million without fees. With the 1.5% annual drag, that same portfolio grows to roughly $4.2 million. The difference, $1.5 million, more than double the $675,000 we calculated in raw fees. This is the compounding cost of mediocre advisory relationships. Now here's the irony nobody wants to admit. You earn $200,000, $300,000, maybe $500,000 per year. You're in the top 1% of income earners. You've spent decades building wealth through discipline and hard work. Yet the moment you cross $1 million in assets, you've entered a system designed to extract maximum fees regardless of performance. Let me explain how we got here and why this model persists despite being mathematically indefensible for high net worth individuals. The origins of the 1.5% fee standard, the 1.5% assets under management (AUM) model didn't emerge from rigorous research proving it was fair compensation. It emerged from convenience. In the 1980s, before technology made portfolio management significantly cheaper, advisors needed a simple, scalable fee structure. The percentage-based AUM model made sense when portfolio management required extensive research, manual rebalancing, and high operational costs. But it's 2024. Technology has decimated the operational costs of managing portfolios. Robo-advisors manage billions with staff counts in the dozens. Yet the 1.5% standard remains frozen in time, defended by an industry that benefits enormously from the status quo. Let's examine real compensation data. According to the Investment Company Institute, the average expense ratio for actively managed equity mutual funds is 0.41%, while index funds average 0.06%. Yet advisors charging 1.5% AUM claim they add value through selection, monitoring, and behavioral coaching. The evidence suggests otherwise. Data, the underperformance problem. Here's the uncomfortable truth supported by decades of academic research. Approximately 85–90% of actively managed funds underperform their benchmark indexes after fees. This data comes from the S&P Dow Jones Indices, which publishes annual SPIVA S&P indices versus active reports. When your advisor charges 1.5% annually, they need to beat the market by at least 1.5% just to match index fund performance. Not to beat it, just to match it. Most don't. A 2021 Vanguard study found that over 10-year periods, 88% of active managers underperformed their respective benchmarks. Let's apply this to your $1.5 million portfolio. If the S&P 500 returns 10% in a given year, your $1.5 million should theoretically grow to $1.65 million. Instead, you pay $22,500 in fees, leaving you with $6,275 million, and that's only if your advisor matched the market. More likely, your advisor underperformed while charging you anyway. A high-income earners case study. Consider Sarah, a 52-year-old orthopedic surgeon earning $350,000 annually. She accumulated $2.8 million with a prestigious wealth management firm, paying 1.2% AUM $33,600 annually. Over her last 5 years with this advisor, her portfolio returned 5.2% annually after fees. The S&P 500 returned 10.1% annually during the identical period. Sarah was paying $168,000 in fees over 5 years while underperforming by 4.9% annually. That 4.9% annual underperformance compounds viciously. Her $2.8 million growing at 10.1% would have reached $361 million after 5 years. Growing at 5.2%, it reached $348 million. That $130,000 difference represents real retirement security lost. When Sarah switched to a fee-only fiduciary advisor charging 0.5% fixed fees, her portfolio immediately outperformed because the fee structure aligned incentives. The advisor now had every reason to maximize returns rather than manage assets under the 1.5% AUM umbrella. The behavioral coaching argument. Advisors defending the 1.5% model often cite behavioral coaching as the justification. They argue that preventing emotional decisions during market downturns is worth significant fees. This argument has merit, but only for specific investors. Research by Vanguard suggests that disciplined behavioral coaching might add 1–2% in value annually, primarily by preventing panic selling during crashes. However, this value accrues only to investors prone to panic. For disciplined, high-income earners who have already demonstrated the ability to build wealth, this behavioral value is minimal. Moreover, behavioral coaching shouldn't cost 1.5% annually forever. It should be most valuable during market crises, perhaps 2–3 times per decade, and nearly worthless during stable markets. Yet advisors charge the same 1.5% regardless of market conditions or whether coaching is even needed. The conflicts of interest problem. Here's where things get ethically murky. Most advisors charging 1.5% AUM operate under a fiduciary standard. meaning they're legally obligated to act in your best interest. Yet their compensation structure incentivizes behaviors contrary to that obligation. 1. Portfolio bloat. Advisors benefit from larger portfolios. Some subtly discourage clients from paying off mortgages or withdrawing for business investments since those actions reduce AUM. 2. Concentration bias. An advisor with $2 million of your $5 million net worth has tremendous incentive to keep it concentrated. Diversifying into real estate or private equity reduces AUM. 3. Underutilization of tax strategies. Tax loss harvesting and strategic giving can reduce portfolio size if assets move out of the advisor's management. Some advisors underemphasize these strategies. 4. Fee justification creep. As portfolios grow, advisors often justify their service unchanged. A $10 million portfolio doesn't require 10x the work of a $1 million portfolio, yet the advisor collects 10x the fees. These aren't accusations of fraud. Most advisors operate ethically. Rather, they're systemic conflicts built into a compensation model that hasn't evolved in 40 years. Alternative models that actually work for high-income earners. Several fee structures make more sense than one. 5% AUM, *** flat fee advisory, *** $10,000, $25,000 annually regardless of portfolio size. Once your portfolio exceeds $1 million, this flat fee becomes less than 1% annually. Advisors can't grow rich by expanding your portfolio, so they focus on actual performance. I've seen flat fee advisors more aggressive about tax strategies and diversification because they don't lose AUM. *** hourly consulting, $250 $500 per hour, billed only when work is performed. This works well for self-directed investors who need occasional guidance rather than continuous management. Many high-income earners are sophisticated enough to manage portfolios independently, but benefit from quarterly strategic reviews. ** performance-based fees, ** the advisor shares an upside. This genuinely aligns incentives, but these arrangements are rare and carry their own complications, particularly regarding tax efficiency and risk management. ** hybrid models, ** a base fee plus a small AUM percentage or performance fee. For example, $15,000 annually plus 0. 25% AUM aligns incentives while ensuring advisors are compensated for growth stage work. The math of switching. If you're a high-income earner with $1.5+ million in assets, let's calculate the financial impact of switching fee structures. Current 5% AUM model on $1.5M, $22,500 annually hypothetical flat fee model, $15,000 annually annual savings, $7,500 over 30 years at 6% growth, $7,500 compounds to approximately $57,500 in additional wealth. But this understates the benefit. If switching to a flat fee advisor improves performance by even 0.5% annually, a conservative estimate given reduced conflicts, that compounds dramatically. An extra 0.5% annually on a $1.5 million portfolio growing for 30 years adds roughly $800,000 in wealth. Combining fee savings and improved performance returns, switching from 1.5% AUM to rational alternatives could deliver $850,000 plus in additional lifetime wealth for a single client. Multiply that across a family's advisory relationships and we're discussing millions. Why high-income earners stay stuck despite the math. Most high-income earners remain with 1.5% AUM advisors. Why? Behavioral inertia, primarily. You've built a relationship. Switching feels like effort. Your advisor isn't obviously underperforming. They might even track with the market during bull markets. And there's no clear moment when you think, I should fire my advisor. Additionally, high-income professionals are often time poor. The effort to research alternatives, negotiate fees, and transition accounts feels like a distraction from earning money. This is precisely the psychological state the advisory industry exploits. The advisory industry also perpetuates myths about their value. You can't do this alone. Active management is essential for high net worth individuals, and our process is proprietary and worth the fee. These claims rarely withstand scrutiny. The call to action: if you earn $200,000 plus annually and have accumulated $1 million plus, it's time for an honest conversation about advisory fees. Pull your statements, calculate your actual fees, compare them against your performance versus market benchmarks. If you're paying more than 1% annually or underperforming by more than 1%, you have an urgent fiduciary